All right, if you're like me, you know that living in a small town with a good sense of community is something special. Now, if you're moving to Metro Detroit and you're looking for just that, something with a small town vibe, good sense of community, this video is definitely for you. So stick around to the end because I'm covering the top 5 cities that you're not going to want to miss if you're looking for a small town and a good sense of community. And we're getting after it right now. What's happening, you guys? Eric Meldrum here, your Michigan real estate agent. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. In this channel, I cover all things Metro Detroit. And as a full-time real estate team, we talk about real estate, obviously, but lifestyle, and we answer all the questions that you guys have when relocating to the great state of Michigan, and we want to help you do just that. So consider subscribing and tapping that little bell so you're the first to learn about all the new videos we put out. And hey, if you're going to be moving here in 1 month or 1 year from now, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and give us a call, shoot us a text. There's zero excuses because all my contact information is down below in the description. And we want to help you make a smooth move here to Michigan, and we got your back when doing so. All right, so let's talk about the criteria of what makes a small town with a good sense of community. Well, I can assure you this is not for the size of the city by population or size of the square miles for that matter. That has zero to do with what makes a good city, in my opinion. But what is important is on the list, we are making sure that every single one of these cities has a downtown area. Why is that important? Well, we love shopping. We love going out to eat. We love going to parks. We love hanging out with people in our community and seeing people around town. So they got to have a downtown, and they got to have shops and all that stuff that I just covered to make it onto the list. Now, in addition to that, you also have to have some good schools, and real estate has to be top notch as well. So make sure that you stick around to the end because these 5 cities you are not going to want to miss. All right, so I know you got a lot of questions when moving to a new city. There's a list probably in front of you. You and your wife or whoever has went down the path and said, these are our must-haves. We got to find this. We got to find this. And you started scouring the internet and you came across this video. Now you're here. Well, you're welcome because this video is going to cover a lot of the questions that you have and make sure we touch on some of the things that you're looking for. So if I miss anything, just drop it in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer those or reach out. We can answer them as well. So again, guys, with this information, there's a lot to consider. You know, my wife and I were in a similar situation when we moved from Michigan to California and then California back to Michigan. But when we moved back to Michigan, we did not move to where we grew up. So it was a little bit uncharted territory for us. I grew up in the east side of Detroit in St. Clair Shores. My wife was from Flint. So when we landed on Ann Arbor, this was kind of new territory for us. We had been to Ann Arbor before, you know, growing up, but we had never lived there. What's it like as a young married couple? What's it like as a 20-something? You know, is this a good area for nightlife, for bars? And so we went down the research. And of course, Ann Arbor is fantastic for all those things. But a lot of the same questions that you're asking yourself right now are a lot of the questions that we asked. And we got the answers through doing it. And there's some mistakes that I made that I probably wouldn't make again. So hopefully I can steer you clear of making some of those mistakes. Now, the ultimate decision for us landing in Ann Arbor was specifically we wanted to be close to downtown. We wanted to have access to restaurants, nightlife. I mean, we were young. Okay, we were just married and we wanted to have fun. So fast forward a year, my wife is pregnant and we knew we needed some more space. You know, our apartment was getting a little bit tight with all the stuff we were accumulating for our daughter to come. And we knew at that point we needed to start looking for space. So our criteria changed, and that's the interesting part, is we went the complete opposite direction, right? We said, all right, we don't really care about bars, restaurants, and a nightlife and all those things anymore. We want somewhere with a sense of community, somewhere with a sense of family orientation, and we could just plug in, and obviously great schools, great parks to raise a family. So that criteria took us around the Ann Arbor area, around the Metro Detroit area, and that's ultimately how we got landed accidentally in Brighton, because we started looking in areas like Saline, Dexter, Northville, Plymouth, and then we didn't really consider Brighton because we thought it was too small. But when we got there and we started looking at a lot of the real estate in the downtown area, that's when things change for us, and that's when it might change for you. So I'd encourage you to stick around to the end because each one of these cities has their own uniqueness and pros and cons of them. But hey, You never know. You might fall in love with each and every one of them, and it might be a tough decision for you. Now, these are in no particular order, but the way it worked out with looking at some of these cities and ranking them for the best downtown areas, we actually got a good majority of Metro Detroit covered. We got some on the east side, some in the middle of Metro Detroit, and then some on the west side of Metro Detroit. So depending on what location you're looking to be in or be close to, this might be helpful for you guys to see some of the things on the east, middle, and west side of Metro Detroit. Some considerations for you. All right, so first up on our list, and again, no particular order, guys, is Dexter, Michigan. Now, Dexter is a great place to be if you're looking to be close to Ann Arbor, and this is all the way on the west side of Metro Detroit. So some people may not even consider Dexter part of Metro Detroit. I'm from Metro Detroit. Guys, it's all the same, right? We're not excluding Dexter. I would say Dexter is probably the furthest point from Metro Detroit. But Ann Arbor, if you're gonna be working at the university or working at the hospital system there, it's a great location. Dexter, you can get a little bit more space, a little bit more bang for your buck, so to speak, in the housing market. So if you head out there, you can expect a quaint downtown area with lots of history, coffee shops, restaurants, and then there's a park right in the central part of the city, and that is called Mill Creek Park. So you can go grab a coffee, grab a bite to eat, take a walk to the park, go sit on the benches, do some bird watching. They even have places where you can kayak or canoe, and it's just a really cool low-key spot to hang out. Now, Dexter schools, fantastic. They're top rated, just like Ann Arbor. And then the home values in Dexter, you can find a home right around $300,000. I would say you're probably going to be looking more in like the $450 to $600 range for the home. If you're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, you can still find a lot of homes that are in the 300s, but they go super quick on the market. All right, so the next city we're going to take a look at is on the east side of Detroit. So if you're looking to be on the east side, then you're going to definitely want to check out Grosse Pointe. Now, there's a lot of variants of Grosse Pointe. You got Grosse Pointe Shores, Grosse Pointe Farms, Grosse Pointe Woods, Grosse Pointe Park, and then just regular old Grosse Pointe. There's way too many of them to keep up with. But for all intents and purposes in this video, I'm just going to say Grosse Pointe in general. And all of the homes in Grosse Pointe are going to range anywhere from 300 on up to the millions. I would say if you're looking in the Grosse Pointe area and you want to be in one of the more predominant areas of Grosse Pointe, you're probably going to be looking 500 to 700,000 is a good budget. There are still a lot of homes that you can find in the $300,000 to $400,000 range, but Grosse Pointe does have a lot of expensive homes. Now, in the terms of downtown area, there's two central spots. You have the Village and you have the Hill. So the Hill has some restaurants, some bars, coffee shops, and some office spaces. And then if you head down a little bit further, you're going to run into the Village, which has pretty much everything you need. You got coffee shops, restaurants, parks down there, and then you even have your own Trader Joe's in Grosse Pointe. So if that's important to you guys, I know like having a Trader Joe's in any city, we've been trying to get one here in Brighton. It's just not going to happen. I don't know why they said it's not going to happen, but Grosse Pointe definitely has got the Trader Joe's. So if that's what you're looking for, there you go. Now, if you're looking for stuff to do outside of work and you want a little bit of leisure, Grosse Pointe has two country clubs that are really cool as well. You got Country Club of Detroit and Lockmore, both great golf courses and social events that go on there. And then you also have the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club. So if you're into boating or want to do some sailing, you got that as well. All right, so next up on the list is Milford, Michigan. Now, I told you guys all the downtown areas for all these cities are check, 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 right? You're not going to be disappointed. Quintessential downtown area, restaurants, bars, parks, things of that nature that bring the community together. And Milford has it all. So a great coffee recommendation in Milford is the Proving Grounds. And I love this place so much because they have one of my favorites, which is an affogato. And for those of you who don't know, I love ice cream. Okay, so affogato is ice cream and then espresso served over top of it. It's creamy, it's rich, it's bitter at the same time. It's absolutely to die for. So I always make the mistake though of when we go to dinner there, we will go to the Proving Grounds. The girls love getting their ice cream. They do have ice cream plus coffee, which makes it even funner. So they get ice cream, I'll get an affogato, and I'll eat it at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? And then I'm up until like 2 in the morning. but it's so worth it. So delicious. All right, so in addition to a great downtown area, the home values in Milford are going to range anywhere from $375 on up. You can find a lot of homes that are on acreage. You can find homes that are in the city, near the village. Property taxes do get a little bit more expensive in Milford, so definitely keep in mind that when you're looking for homes in the Milford area. But $375 on up, and then you can get into some of the estately neighborhoods that could range anywhere from $600 to $900 and even up into the millions for homes there. But the real estate in Milford is really cool. There's a lot of historic homes near the downtown area. You got Victorian, and you got a lot of homes that have just been really well maintained. And I think that's one of the cool things I love about Milford is the downtown area, very well kept. A lot of the surrounding areas, very well kept. It's just a great place that you would take pride in living there and inviting people from out of state to come visit you and see where you live, because it's a really cool spot. And in addition to having a great sense of community, Milford is so close to Kensington Metro Park. Now, if you like golf, they got golf courses. If you just want to do biking, hiking, you can kayak, you can take a fishing boat out into Kensington Lake. There's so many things to do. So I'd highly recommend checking out the Kensington Metro Park. And if you're surrounded anywhere in the area besides Milford, I mean, you're Brighton, Ann Arbor, a lot of people go up to Kensington Metro for those specific reasons. All right, so next up on our list is Northville, Michigan, just south of Milford, north of Plymouth. Northville has some of the best real estate to offer, guys, and I'm not kidding with this. I love looking at homes, the architecture, the new builds, the custom builds in Northville. It's some of my favorite. Now, whenever I get to go take a look at some homes in Northville with you guys, I always make sure to point out that, hey, some pro athletes live here. You might be moving in next to, some of the Red Wings, some of the Lions, some of the, Tigers. A lot of pro athletes live in Northville because it's that highly desirable. Now, the downtown area, it goes without saying, great shopping, great restaurants, wouldn't be on our list if it didn't have those. School system in Northville is top rated as well. So if you're looking for a good coffee shop in Northville, I would go check out Red Dot Coffee. They have some of the best macaroons, coffees to die for as well. Now, this wouldn't be a good list if I didn't point out the fact that Northville has a Trader Joe's. So for all you Trader Joe's fans out there, Northville is your spot. If you're looking for great real estate, great schools, great downtown, and a Trader Joe's, Northville is probably the perfect fit for you. Last but not least, we are taking a look at Brighton, Michigan. Now, Brighton is one of the cities that we fell in love with. We love it. Obviously, we live here, so we might be a little bit biased. But again, these are in no particular order. Brighton's just an all-around great city. So a lot of things that Brighton has to offer. We talked about the downtown area, the shopping, the restaurants, the coffee shops, all of the above. But Brighton also has the Mill Pond, and the Mill Pond is great for people watching. I love going down there and just watching people walk around. We run into a lot of our friends, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Like, you people watch. I know you do. It's a thing, right? Some great people watching downtown Brighton. I'm sure there's great people watching in all those other cities. We do it in Brighton, but we love doing that. Grab a coffee from the Brighton Coffee House and Theater, head on over, sit at the Amp Theater. You can catch some outdoor bands. You can catch some festivals down there. They have just tons of stuff going on. It feels like every weekend, even if we don't have anything planned, we head down there and there's something going on. So downtown area is great, but if you're looking at a home here in Brighton, it's going to run you north of 300, 350 to 450 is probably a really good budget if you're looking for a single family, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And then those go on up into the 500s, 600s for more of the stately subdivisions. And then of course we have some great subdivisions like Pine Creek or the Dominions that can get anywhere from 800 on up into the millions. And then there are some awesome lake communities in Brighton as well. So you got West Crooked Lake, you got Brighton Lake, and then there's a whole Portage chain of lakes, which is technically Pinckney, but parts of Brighton. But there's a lot of great real estate, and you can find pretty much anything you're looking for, whether it's a small ranch or a subdivision with some of the stately homes in them. There's a lot to offer here in Brighton. All right, and last but not least, I cannot let you go without letting you know that there's a Costco here in Brighton. Now, I know I just upped your ranking of Brighton over Northville. I'm sorry to do that. I'm sorry to throw you all off here, but Costco is here in Brighton. So in addition to the great downtown, the great schools, the great real estate we got here in the Brighton area and all the lakes, there is a Costco as well. So if you're Trader Joe's side of things, or Costco and Trader Joe's, doesn't matter, right? There's Trader Joe's close, but Northville's got that Trader Joe's, Grosse Pointe's got that Trader Joe's, and then of course there's Costco's nearby those cities as well. But these are the best cities that I could come up with for you guys to consider for a small town vibe with a great downtown area. Now there's tons of other cities around here, just notable, like Howell, Pinckney, Saline, Plymouth, those type of cities. The reason they didn't make the list is because, well, I could only do 5, and these are the 5 that I would recommend to anybody moving here into the Metro Detroit area for those reasons. So if there's anything I missed about any of these cities, drop those in the comments below. And if this information was helpful, consider subscribing and tapping that little bell so you're the first to learn about all the new videos we drop. And remember, if you're moving here in 1 month or 1 year from now, do not hesitate to give us a call. There's no excuses because all my contact info is down below, and we want to be the best resource for you in making that move. So go check these other videos out about all things Metro Detroit. We have vlog tours, city tours, property tours, and videos just like this where we talk about all things Metro Detroit. So go check them out, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.